Good afternoon, everybody. Meteorologist Jack Griffin here. We do have storms that have popped up in the area, and some of you may have seen them earlier on, but we actually do have a warning out for our area, a tornado warning for parts of Livingston County until 2:45. We are looking at this storm. It has actually had a history of producing radar-indicated tornadoes. Have not officially seen a report from the ground just yet, but it is a strong one with half-dollar-sized hail potential with it as well, moving to the east at around 30 miles per hour. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be stepping off screen because we're also going to be streaming this online as well as to Facebook as well, and so we'll just be getting those going right now. So again, if you are tuning in, thank you once again for joining us. We are looking at things to be kind of active with our storms this afternoon. We do have this one storm. The thing is, though, as we zoom out, you'll see that we actually don't have a whole lot of other additional storms out there. Again, I'm just getting the streams going across our social media channels as well as onto Facebook here, so just give me one moment. But again, we're looking at things to be a little bit stormy out there in places like Livingston County. This is Pontiac RV weather camera on the roofing dog on it. You've got the cloudy skies there. This is really the only sky cam that does have cloud cover out there because everything else has been pretty sunny out there. So again, we'll go back to the radar. Again, as you can see, that we are all nice and quiet here, except for a lot of activity up in the northern part of the state. And this southern cell of this line is in our viewing area, and that's why we are here. You've got a tremendous amount of lightning with this storm as it's moving off to the east at around 30 miles per hour. So what we'll do here is we'll put a track on things, and we'll show you the spots that are expected to potentially be in on this activity. Again, it's moving to the east around 30 miles per hour, so that does put Pontiac in play here at about 2:41, Fairbury at about 2:50, 3 o'clock in Forest, and 3:11 p.m. for Chatsworth. Again, this is for Livingston County tornado warning until 2:45. This has had a lot of juicy air to work with. It's been very warm, very humid, and as a result of that, we've seen these storms fire up pretty quickly. I'm going to turn that off and kind of loop things here, and you'll see that as we go through time the past 3 hours, these storms have been racing off generally to the northeast, but then this storm has now started to slow down and turns more to the right, especially in those last couple radar loops. You can kind of see that happening there. So we are looking at that storm to be potentially moving more to the east rather than northeast compared to the rest of these storms here. Again, you got some other big ones just outside the viewing area, but this is the one that we are concerned with. The thing is, though, down to our south and southwest, not really anything, which is nice. We did expect the storms to be popping up this afternoon to be very spotty, and that's exactly what has happened. We do just have this one that has gone tornadic, and so we'll get in on that storm. We'll put it to now, and we'll show you that we do have some velocity that does show some rotation within this storm. There is a little bit of some rotation there in terms of the storm getting going right over El Paso, it seemed like, and then it really gained strength once it just crossed over into the Livingston County line. And so you can see that we have those two different colors there, and that would signify that you do have some rotation there in the area. We're going to keep on watching this storm as it moves off to the east at around 30 miles per hour. There's also quite a bit of lightning with this storm, as well as a lot of heavy rain too, but we'll check the hail that we have out there. There was a hail spike that was there earlier on, where I think we're between radar scans. Yeah, there it is. So it is filling in there at times, and you can see that we do have some decently sized hail that the radar is picking up on, but we are looking at mainly this storm to be a tornadic threat to us, and that's why we have the warning that's out there. So we'll put the velocity back on and also loop things as well here. And you can tell that we had a pretty nice couplet that was coming into the Livingston County area just to the south of Flanagan, and now it looks like it's got a little bit more of a broad rotation as it does so. But we are still keeping an eye on things here for how this storm does look to develop and continue on its track here. I'm just checking a few more pieces of information, and got some reports here from on Twitter that, and let me zoom in here to see where that would be. Gridley, see where that is. There it is. Okay. No tornado visible on the storm that has tornado warn, which is great news. So I've got a storm spotter that I know who's in the Gridley area, just to the north. He's just to the north of Gridley, and he's looking right at that storm. And there's no tornado visible, which is at least good. Doesn't mean it's not there. Could be very small. Could be potentially rain-wrapped. But at least we don't have a confirmation of that, which would signify that hopefully this storm is not going to be producing a violent tornado. But we still do have the warning on it because, as you can see with our velocity, we have it there. Take a look at the lightning. A lot of dangerous lightning with this storm, especially when we zoom out here. You can tell that this thing is just tightly packed, and there's also going to be a lot of heavy rain with this one too. In fact, our rain totals may actually be, yeah, there we go. We're coming in at some spots seeing over an inch of rainfall here, and that would be over a pretty short amount of time. We'll see if that one does pop up. Yeah, so this is radar estimated rainfall, and it's coming in already over an inch, and that would be over a very short time span. So again, a lot of heavy rain with this storm. The potential is there for some decent-sized hail. In fact, at one point it did have half-dollar-sized hail with that one, but it still does remain our main threat and main focus for the radar confirmed tornado. And we'll put the velocity back on there. Again, we're looking at this thing moving off to the east at around 30 miles per hour. So this would put places like Pontiac in play here for that. And also we'll be looking at places like Rooks Creek at around 236, Pontiac around 242, Avoca at 251, Sonneman at 304, and Column at 317. So if you live in and around these areas, and even if you are going to be, let's say my box didn't pick up Fairbury, for example, with this latest one, you also want to make sure that you can get to safety here pretty quickly. The good thing is, though, is that this is relatively slower moving. It's moving at 30 miles per hour, so it's not a storm that is racing off to the east, but it does still have the potential of producing a tornado with it, and that's why we're concerned. Again, if you are just joining us, you might be thinking that why is Jack on TV right now when it's nice and sunny? This is the reason why. We just have that one cell in the viewing area. Everything else has been very quiet. We did have a number of storms that were passing through parts of the viewing area earlier on today, but this is just our only focus, which at least is nice there. Most of these storms were always expected to kind of be up in the northern part of the state anyways. The Storm Prediction Center's outlook for today will be showing that we did have that enhanced risk. And again, it would make sense. The enhanced risk is mainly most of it as out of our viewing area to the north there, but it does include parts of Livingston County like you see there. So this severe storm outlook from the Storm Prediction Center so far looking to be pretty much on target here in terms of their in terms of pinpointing what they're expecting. We'll take a look at future track, and you'll see that we've got those storms that will be pretty isolated, and as we go into the evening hours, besides a few more spotty storms, that's going to be about it. So I think that if you are pretty much anywhere else outside of Livingston County, maybe Ford County gets this storm too, depending on how it moves, if it's able to hold together, and maybe even part of Iroquois County, again, if it still holds together in that fashion. There will be quite a few spots that end up being dry for the day today. But again, we'll be taking a look at this storm. We'll turn the lightning off so you have a better idea about what is going on here. And I'm checking a few more spots to see if I've got any more new information on this storm. Again, we've got just the one cell in the area, which is good. And it still has radar indicated rotation. Oops. Here we go with this one. Yep, radar indicated rotation still has the half-dollar-sized hail with that one, but it will still be tracking to be near Pontiac at around 240. And again, you're probably underneath in Pontiac, underneath the cloud deck there of the supercell. You can see that, oh, nice, we got some good cloud-to-ground lightning there. And this very well could be the prime spot to look at for the storm as it comes through there. We might even be able to see a little bit of some lowering there to the just above that Pontiac RV Roofing Dog iNet graphic there, right at the horizon line. That actually might be a little bit of some lowering, but you can definitely tell the dark clouds, how they go all the way to the horizon. That would be the heavy rain that we have in that storm as it comes in here. But a great view and a lot of lightning that shows up on this sky cam. So that's looking very good here on that picture. Because of when this came in, this is going to be the wrong graphic here. It says flash flood watch, but this is actually tornado watch, and that does go until 8 o'clock tonight. So that is where we are sitting at. You'll notice that a lot of the viewing area remains out of that tornado watch area. So that's good news there. Again, we're always expecting the storms today to be pretty spotty, and that has exactly been the case here. You've got a wide swath of the viewing area that is totally dry, and in fact, relatively cloud-free as well. So we'll get back up to here. Again, if you are in and around this tornado-warned storm, please get to safety as quick as you can, especially in and around the Pontiac area. I'm going to put a different kind of track on it. We'll get a little bit of a better view, a little bit better timing of that one with more of that storm based on how it was last going. So again, we're still looking at Pontiac to be impacted here. Based on where I drew it, this might be a little bit fast at 2:30. Still, though, would not hurt to get to shelter sooner rather than later. Avoca at 2:46, Sonneman at 2:52, Column at 3:06, and Mona at 3:13. And again, that's just where that is drawn. So if you live in and around these areas, please seek shelter because this storm not only has a tornado risk with it, it also does have the hail risk with it as well. We will go now to our radar view with or our velocity view, I should say, and see how that looks. Not looking as nicely tight as it did a little bit ago. We'll kind of go back in time here, and it looked to be much better right about there when it was just off to the northwest of Gridley to the northeast of El Paso, kind of in between there and Minonk. And that would have been right at 2 o'clock or so. But now, as we go to now, at 2:26, that's where it looks like. We still do have some rotation in there, and so we'll keep on watching for that. But again, as we loop that, you'll see that that circulation has kind of fallen apart a little bit here. Also keep in mind, too, that we are coming in closer to the Chicago radar, so we are kind of far away from different radars here for us. But that is coming into the Pontiac area, and also have just a bunch of lightning with it, a lot of heavy rain with it, and also the hail threat too with that one. Right by Epard's Point there and Pike, you've got a pretty large hail spike there. And so that would be indicative of, oops, we'll get the wrong one. Yep. Glitching the system out a little bit here. It's not able to get that. But what we do know there is that there is a potential there for some decently sized hail. It does get to that teal and kind of blue color there. So at this point, you'd be looking at, easily looking at severe criteria there with your quarter-sized hail on the ground. But velocity remains our main concern here with that. We do have some of that rotation that does remain back off to the, on the far western side of that warning right there. And again, this is still going off to the east at around 30 miles per hour. I'm going to check a few more things here to see if we're able to get any new information. Go to Chicago's. All right, just checking the latest there. We're still looking at it to be a tornado warning for radar-indicated rotation. This thunderstorm is capable of producing a tornado. Is located near Pontiac, moving east at 30 miles per hour. Let's check back on the Pontiac camera right now. That one is probably going to be pretty good looking. You've got, looks to be potentially a little bit of a shelf cloud developing there, maybe just off to the left of the American flag. You've got on the right side of your screen a lot of just dark cloud cover showing that that's dropping a lot of heavy rain. And we'll see if we have any more lightning strikes on that one. There has been a fair amount of lightning with this cell as it's been moving through parts of Livingston County. And we'll check back in on this one every so often. So again, if you're just joining us, you do have that one cell. This is our view of the, our default view of the viewing area that we usually start off our forecast with. And you'll see that it's pretty quiet everywhere else. We do have a lot of nice, warm, humid conditions here for this first day of the 3-day Memorial Day weekend. But we do have this one cell that is producing a tornado warning on it, and it goes until 2:45 for Livingston County. A lot of lightning within this cell here, and checking back at a few more things. Sorry, so one of the interesting things with this was back when it was outside of Livingston County, back when it was in Woodford County, which would be at this point right there. This would have been just before 2 o'clock or so. At around 2:08, we had a confirmed tornado located near the Woodford-Livingston County line between Panola and Flanagan, moving northeast at 30 miles per hour. That was a little bit ago. So at one point, this storm did actually produce a tornado on the ground, and it would have been, we'll turn the lightning off, it would have been right here, basically. This is where that would have been, right on the county line there. So now that it's in Livingston County, we are still watching things here for us. Okay, that's a different county, Winnebago. So we still are watching for the radar indicated portion of this one. And now it's basically kind of right on Pontiac right now. It's very close to Pontiac. We'll put the our velocity back up there. And you'll see that not really seeing as much in that good-looking rotation like it was earlier on, but it is still there. And that is why we continue to monitor this cell pretty closely here. We'll check for any debris signatures here. Not certain that we'll really pick up on anything. Yeah, it's looking to be, which is good. Yeah, it was back when it crossed the line, county line. And so hopefully that was just out in an open area. It's obviously a pretty rural part of central Illinois, out in that part of the Woodford and Livingston counties there. But we still do have a number of small communities that could be impacted by it. But again, we do have this tornado warning, which goes for another 14 minutes until 2:45, and it's for, still has it for thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado located near Pontiac. Checking a few more things out to see if we have any additional information. I'll try to share some of these on Facebook and Twitter. It's just me here in the studio, so I won't be able to get to too much of that while I'm on TV currently. But we'll be able to show these on some pictures on social media, which will be good. So again, 2:45. We'll put this into motion with our track. We'll put a track on this, and again, right at Pontiac right now, we'd see probably some gusty winds here approaching the I-55 corridor there. And so Eppert's pointed around 234, Avoca 248, Pleasant Ridge at 302, Charlotte at 314, and Pella at 326. If that still continues on its path here, as it still moves off to the east at around 30 miles per hour. We are still kind of waiting for the next few updates here with it. Appreciate everybody joining in here. Again, it's a nice day for most of the viewing area. You'll see that we have the one cell here up in Livingston County, basically right on Pontiac right now. Everywhere else is looking very nice. In fact, been very warm, very humid with it. But the Storm Prediction Center did kind of think that today was going to be a spot of activity. That's why there has been a slight risk for a majority of the viewing area. There was some thinking that there could be some development, and we're not totally out of the woods just yet with that. But it was always going to be in the north-central part of the state of Illinois where there was going to be that enhanced risk, and that's what we currently have right now. We do have that tornado watch that does go in effect until 8 o'clock for Logan, DeWitt, McLean, Livingston, Ford, and Iroquois counties. But we're still watching that storm up in Livingston County. We've got a rotating wall cloud with strong inflow, thanks to a spotter saying that near Pontiac. So this is coming into the Pontiac area right now. I'm going to save this camera angle of our radar, and then I'm going to go to the actual Skycam itself here to see what that looks like. We should be looking at some pretty dark. Yeah, there it is. So you've got some great-looking structure with that. You've got the heavy rains coming in. You can see the American flag on top of the courthouse billowing in quite a bit there because of the strong winds that we have. And this would be coming into the Pontiac area currently. So if you live there, you want to make sure that you're in your safe spot away from windows on the lowest level of your house as you can be. So again, we'll go back to the radar. Lightning, again, showing quite a bit of lightning with this storm. The good news is, though, is that they kind of keep on shrinking this warned area here, which is good news. They're refining that. But we'll turn on our velocity again to see if we are able to pick up on anything. Again, still some rotation being shown here. I'm just reading a couple of things that are popping in here through a chat system that I'm able to view from the National Weather Service. Okay, that's 4 different spots. I have to use the, this is up in Livingston County. They use the Chicago National Weather Service office, and since they're also dealing with a number of other warnings there, I'm sometimes looking at things and wondering if that's our warning or not. So that's some information I'm getting is actually for spots outside of the viewing area. So again, that's our rotation right there. And so we're looking at that to be coming into the Pontiac area. It should be there about right now. We were always kind of saying between about 2:30 and 2:40 it was going to be there. And it is still expected to kind of come through during this same time frame within the next few minutes here. So again, seek shelter if you've not done so already. We've got not only the tornado threat that's still possible here. With this rotating supercell thunderstorm, we could get one that does come down, but we also do have the hail threat as well. And that hail core does look to be best just off to the south of Pontiac, in between Epperts Point and Pontiac. That does look to be kind of where the best area for hail is currently, with that hail spike there, showing that we could be looking at up to quarter-sized hail with that one. I'm going to check the sky cam, see if we're able to get any new looks here. Again, that storm is basically passing directly over the city of Pontiac right now. Looks to be dry currently. The rain showers have not moved in. You do have the the shield of the anvil of the actual storm over Pontiac right now. So it looks like you've got heavy rain, but it's likely just about to be approaching there. And so we'll continue to monitor this storm as it moves off to the east. We're still looking at it to be at around 30 miles per hour. And we'll put another track on that just to get everybody that's nearby here a chance to see their city pop up. Kind of put it right about there. And we'll do it for 30 minutes. Again, this warning goes until 2:45. It's currently 2:36. So we'll be looking at Pontiac again within the next few minutes. Avoca at 2:52, Sonneman at 3:03, Column at 3:18, and Mona, still those same towns popping up there, at 3:26. And again, if you are outside of this part of the viewing area, you'll see that it's very quiet. We don't have anything going on here. We do have a little bit of a cell that's popped up, we think, across parts of DeWitt County. We've got over Clinton right now. We do have a little cell that's popped up. Currently no lightning with that one, but we'll keep on watching that one since that is moving into some favorable conditions with the atmosphere. Everything else, though, nice and quiet. But this tornado watch that we have does go until 8 o'clock this evening, and you'll see that it does include the counties on the northern and northwestern fringe of the viewing area. So Logan, DeWitt, McLean, Livingston, Fort, Iroquois counties until 8 o'clock. And we'll be looking at storms to, once they move into that area, that's going to be much more of a greater potential for severe weather. That also matches up nicely with what the Storm Prediction Center was thinking for today, with our enhanced risk over the north central and northwestern parts of the state. So we're going to go back to our Skycam, and we do have still a number of, just checking a few more things here. So we're now going to be going back to our radar. Got a new update here. Yep, so we got new tornado warning, which continues now until 3:30, and that does go for it does go into the eastern side of the Livingston County line there. I'm going to check a couple of spots to get any more information on this one. So it still remains radar indicated, but that doesn't mean that the thunderstorm is capable of producing a tornado. Located over Pontiac, currently moving east at 25 miles per hour. So we are looking at this storm to have slowed down a little bit, and it was once at 30 miles per hour. Now it is at 15 miles per hour, and so we're now having it go into the kind of the eastern half of Livingston County. It's going that way to the east at around 25 miles per hour. So we'll be looking at this storm to still be on track to keep its strength up. It's in very, very humid, very juicy air. A lot of not only high temperatures, but also high dew points as well. And so we'll be looking out for that to be area of concern for us. Okay, so here we go with Pontiac. We are able to see now, and I'm going to step into the screen because it might be a little bit hard to see on TV, and it will be kind of looping here with it. But you can see that we've got some of those heavy rain showers are eventually going to be coming into the city there. You can kind of see how it looks almost kind of wispy. That would be those rain showers that'll be coming in here. So when it does start, it is going to be coming down pretty hard in the city of Pontiac and for other spots located near that, and we'll continue to track that. Again, we are still on for a tornado warning. We actually have 2 individual tornado warning boxes, but it is over just for 1 individual cell in Livingston County. We'll go back to the radar, and there it is. So it is, we've got the secondary box off to the west. That's the older one. It goes for another 5 minutes until 2:40. This new box to the east of it does go until 3:30. So we are still looking at that storm to still keep on going. So it is basically kind of on the border of those 2 lines there. So put it kind of right over Pontiac. Off to the east now, it's going a little slower, going at around 25 miles per hour now. So we got Avoca until 2:51, Owego School at 2:52, Sonneman at 3:07, Column at 3:24, and Mona at 3:33, if it is able to hold on to its intensity and keep on going. But that goes until 3:30 with this latest warning there. Everywhere else, nice and quiet. We do have a couple of cells that continue to pop up there, kind of right along Clinton Lake. But everywhere else is nice and quiet. We did have some bigger cells that popped up over Effingham late this morning into the early afternoon hours. Those have now pushed off, and actually those are the ones that are over into Indiana. So we've been pretty quiet across the majority of the viewing area now for a number of hours. Really all the action is right up in Livingston County with that little cell that's popping up in part just to the north of, just on northern parts of Clinton Lake, just off to the northeast of Clinton, and basically just west of DeWitt there. A couple little cells by Rutledge and Leroy as those make their way off to the northeast, but by far this is the one that we are keeping our eye on the most as it goes into now the central part of Livingston County, basically right over Pontiac on I-55, and then it's continuing to move more to the east into the eastern side of Livingston County. We'll go to the Skycam for Pontiac on our Pontiac RV weather camera there on a Roofing Dog iNet. You've got now the actual lowered cloud base of the storm itself is now pretty much above the camera. That's why it's now off screen as it kind of loops around there. You can see that we're going to eventually be seeing some very heavy rain coming into the area there. So again, this is a look on our Pontiac RV weather camera on our Roofing Dog iNet, and that is what it looks like there. Here's what it looks like on our radar, and we'll put our velocity back onto it so you can see the rotation that we do have. So it is still holding together. We still do have that little bit of rotation, that those little rotation pockets that are kind of popping up here. Basically now kind of over and just passing over Pontiac currently. So we'll be watching this one as it goes more towards the Owego area, Sonneman area, and it will be likely just passing to the north of Avoca. It'll be very close, but if you are in any of these areas, you want to make sure that you are in your safe spot because the fact that it's moving to the east right now at around 25 miles per hour, it could change its direction, and we want to make sure that you're safely in place there. So again, that's what we're looking at with our velocity. We'll go back to our just regular radar there, and you can tell that we've got that large area there of not only strong winds within this storm, but also in the rotation aspect, but we also have the hail as well as the heavy rain aspect with this one too. We'll turn the hail on, and you'll see that the hail core doesn't look to be as pronounced as it did earlier on. That's good news. There might be showing a little bit of weakening, or it could be a little bit of a cyclical pattern to that, so it may re-intensify. But we'll look at the rain totals as well. And again, a lot of rain with this storm. As you can see, we've got some of those teal spots and even some of those green spots popping up there. That would be most likely over an inch of rain, if not even closer to an inch and a half of rain. So we are talking about some very high rainfall amounts underneath this storm as it does move off to the east pretty slowly here for us. So we'll go back to our velocity, and you'll see that we have this essentially right over Pontiac currently. This velocity couplet, as we can kind of see there, It still does show up there, and so we have to keep an eye out for that as it goes through the Pontiac areas. We'll check the sky cam and see if that's changed there. There it is. Okay, so now we're talking about major, very, very heavy rain with that. I would have loved to have been on that when that first came through, but you can tell that we are dealing with some torrential rain with that. You also have the kind of those rain bands coming through the area too. You can kind of see those against the contrast of the courthouse. So we've got some very heavy rains with this, very strong winds with this storm too as it comes through there. But it looks great. Looks great with that one. Checking a few more things here for us from the National Weather Service. A few different things, kind of have to bounce between two different chat rooms with this storm because of its closeness to the overlap of the Lincoln National Weather Service office as well as now in the control of the Chicago Weather Service office. So again, looking to be a great view there from the Pontiac RV weather camera on our Roofing Dog iNet. You've got, you can see it. I mean, the rain showers, and so you get some of those bigger drops that come across the screen. They're almost coming in sideways. So you've got some very strong winds as these are coming through the Pontiac area currently. And that makes sense. The storm is capable of producing a tornado, and as a result of that, it makes sense that we're going to be having some very strong winds with that. But a great shot of that, and it is going to be coming down there in Pontiac for some time due to the fact that it is going to be underneath this cell for a bit because it is moving slow. So we're going to go back to our radar, and you're going to see that we've got this thing still moving very slowly off to the east at around 25 miles per hour. It is now, Pontiac right now is the last big city that it is underneath. Once it past Pontiac, Pontiac should be all in the clear there, and then we'll be looking at other spots down the line to get it. So now that it's 246, you'll see that we lost that other tornado watch box that canceled at 245. So now we're left with this one that goes until 3:30 for parts of Livingston County. Get a storm report from Pontiac itself. Train spotter reports hail of quarter-sized at 2:39, so that was a few minutes ago. And there actually is a report of hail that was quarter-sized in the city of Pontiac. We're going to turn on our track to once again show you where this is going to be moving. And again, pretty slow there at around 25 miles per hour. Sonneman at 251, Column at 308, Tri-Point High School at 309, Mona 317, and Danforth at 346. And that is only if it's able to keep going in this track at this speed. So it is going slow here, only at around 25 miles per hour. Checking a few more things here for us. And again, the loop of this does show that it has was moving more to the northeast, as you can kind of see. And then what ends up happening, I'll clear that out. What ends up happening is that it starts to turn a bit more to the right. So if you're thinking about the storm itself, as it's kind of moving through its atmosphere, it'll be mainly tracking off to the northeast. But what it's now done is it's turned a bit more to its right, which would be more of a direct east pattern. And when it does that, it's able to pick up some additional rotation just based on that. With the turning of the actual storm itself, you can actually get a bit more rotation out of it, and that's why I've continued to have two different tornado warnings. Well, actually just outside of our viewing area in Woodford County, there was 1, 2 for this storm. So we've had 3 different tornado warnings on this storm as it's moved from basically the El Paso area and kind of the Eureka area was where it really got going, and now into Livingston County. So let's go back to the Pontiac RV weather camera on our Roofing Dog iNet, and you'll see that it's still coming down like crazy there. You got the very strong winds. You've got those horizontal rain bands coming through there, and you can see at times, hard to see at times, but the American flag at the top of the courthouse really is moving around quite a bit. Okay, so we got our latest scan in, and that came in. And so now it doesn't look to be as bad. In fact, you can see some bright skies behind that storm, and that makes sense since Pontiac is now beginning to emerge out of that storm as it comes out of there. Also, what's nice too is that you can tell that the rain is coming down more straight down, which is good. So that shows that the winds are kind of coming down as well there. So that's good news there, as Pontiac's conditions do look to be improving in that part of the county. We'll take a look at the radar, and you'll see that Pontiac should now be, it's still basically right on the back edge of it, but if that camera luckily is facing off to the west, so it looks this direction. So it makes sense that things are more clear back there. There's nothing else back there. This is, again, the only storm that we do have in the viewing area that has warnings on it. We have had a couple additional blips pop up here across parts of, basically we had this little cell that's formed over Clinton Lake, and we'll loop that one. That one's gotten bigger, so we're going to keep an eye out for that one. It is moving into favorable conditions, so I'll have to keep an eye out for that. And also into McLean County, this additional little cell just to the north of Farmer City, in between there and Ellsworth, kind of right by Leroy as well. That little cell has popped up too. So we'll have to watch these because these are moving into some favorable conditions. Everything else, though, is nice and quiet, which is great news. We have more additional warnings that are outside of the viewing area, and these are all kind of connected here. As you can now see kind of the bigger picture, it's a cluster of storms, a small line that basically goes from Pontiac all the way very close to the Joliet area and very close to the National Weather Service radar site in Romeoville in the Chicagoland area. More storms off to the back, off to the northwest. But this one is the one that we're keeping an eye on here. We've got another 40 minutes with this storm, since it does have its warning until 3:30. It is moving very slowly off to our east at around 25 miles per hour. Keep on checking additional information from the National Weather Service. But it wouldn't be a three-day holiday weekend without some severe weather, and it makes sense with things being as warm as they are for us to have seen some thunderstorms develop here and pop up. We'll go back to past, we'll go for a couple of loops here. And this is the past 6 hours, and you'll see that things were pretty active there for a few hours late this morning into the afternoon, and then they have moved off into Indiana, or they've moved off into the northern part of the state. But for us, we're basically just looking at this last little bit here. So it is very likely that a lot of you will end up being completely dry for the day today. We did have a few cells that did pop up, like you kind of saw there with the loop, but we were always saying that today's chances for storms are going to be very spotty, and that's in fact what has happened. We will show future track here right now. We're going to show that being the case here with it. As we kind of loop through it, it may not be exact, but as you can see, there's not really a lot of activity that does show up here until we get to around 11 o'clock tonight. And then overnight tonight, things are pretty quiet. The same thing can also be said for a lot of Sunday as well. We're just going to be expecting a few pop-ups here and there, and that's about it. Not expecting a whole lot of coverage area with these storms for tomorrow either. So if you do have any outdoor activities that you'd like to do, you can still get them done. Just make sure that you're staying weather aware. Let's go back to our Pontiac RV weather camera on a Roof and Dog Inet. Again, that's an old loop there. It's having a hard time trying to get latest refreshes here. I'll see what I can do on my end, but that is not currently what is happening. We were able to see a bit more clearing there. So we'll go to the radar. Again, we got the Pontiac now is just basically coming out of that right now. Put our velocity on, and you'll see that again we've got some rotation that we have to keep an eye on here. Now coming in just off to the west of Sonneman, kind of right over Owego. Right there is where we're looking at some of that rotation to be in the vicinity. So right there is where we're kind of looking out for that rotation to be there. Again, if you live anywhere within this tornado warned area, please make sure that you are in your safe spot. Even though the storm does have a history of producing a tornado, and even though right now it remains radar indicated, that doesn't mean that we can't produce a small one at any time. So I just want to make sure that you are where you need to be when this thing comes over you. So again, we'll put a track on this storm. It's moving off to the east, unfortunately, very slowly. And we'll put it on its kind of the eastern side of the core as it comes through parts of Livingston County. So eventually it's going to be able to get into the northern tip of Ford County and then into parts of Iroquois County pretty soon. But right now, Sonneman at 302, 310 for Griswold, Column at 319, and 319 also for the Tri-Point High School area. So if you live anywhere near these, and also too, just even within the tornado warned area itself, even if that wasn't underneath the track, you still want to make sure that you can be in a safe spot. Go back to our radar. You can see that we've got, again, a lot of heavy rain with this storm. We'll turn the rain on to show you that there has already been, and you saw it with that Pontiac RV weather camera, just how much rain it looked like it was falling in the city of Pontiac. So again, you've got a number of spots here. That teal zone, likely going to be around 1 inch. Those green zones around 1.5 inches. And this is radar estimated rainfall, so it may not be totally exact, but we would be looking at definitely at least 1 inch of rain coming in out of this storm. We do have this tornado watch that does go until 8 o'clock tonight for the counties that you see there in yellow. And again, this has basically been on the fringe of our viewing area, so a lot of spots remain just outside of it. We'll check back on the sky cam. We'll see if that has refreshed with the latest. How about that? So the latest look on that one. You can tell that this is a new image because you've got the wet pavement there, and you can still see some rain that is falling in front of the camera, but it's gone. In fact, it looks beautiful just off to the west there. So their storm has now moved out of Pontiac. You can also tell, too, the American flag on top of the courthouse now completely still. So they have now come out of that storm. In fact, as it kind of loops with the next image, you can see that it got dark there, and it'll eventually, with the time lapse kind of aspect of it, as we go into time, you'll get it brighter. So it's a very cool picture there showing that Pontiac now in the clear with this storm. So we'll go back to our radar, and again, it makes sense. Pontiac now is on the far western edge of that storm, and it's moving off to the east. It's moving away from them. That one over DeWitt's gotten a little bit stronger. We'll turn on any lightning. A couple lightning strikes there approaching the Farmer City area. So that'll be a cell that we'll have to probably watch out for. That one's popped up, as you can tell, pretty quick, and it is moving in a direction that is favorable to going into some of that air that not only is very warm and very humid, but also air that's got a bit more in the way of some wind shear with it to help it potentially rotate. But if I zoom out, you can kind of tell as you kind of track those two individual storms, the big one with the tornado warning in Livingston County has been moving more off to the right, more off to the east, whereas the one that is over Clinton Lake, essentially, in DeWitt, that is the one that's moving off to the northeast. So they're moving in a little bit different directions there, and as a result of that, if it's moving more to the east, that means it's got a bit more of a rotational property to it, which is why we have this warning for Livingston County. So the latest refresh there, the National Weather Service continues their tornado warning. A severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Odell, or 8 miles east of Pontiac, moving east at 25 miles per hour. So it is still moving very slowly off to the east. We'll put another track on that one. We'll turn off the lightning so it's a little bit easier to see. And that storm right now, basically dead center near Odell. So we'll kind of zoom in for it to pick up on that. There's Odell there, so it's a little bit, should be a little bit south of Odell. Just reading a few things here. Getting a lot of information coming in from the National Weather Service, but only one of them was actually for our storm that we're looking at, and that's the information I just said. Okay. All right, checking a few more things there, and we're good to go. Let's put a track on this storm, basically from the edge of that core there. And again, moving off to around 25 miles per hour. We'll give it a few extra miles per hour just for it to potentially get into a bit more of Iroquois County. Power plant 259, Sonneman 302, Column at 319, Mona at 326, and if it gets to Ashcombe, that'd be at 354, but that's outside of the tornado warning box by quite a bit. We'll see now what the Skycam looks like now from Pontiac. So again, looks all good. So they are on the clear with that one. Just want to see if we were able to see any more rainfall out of that one, if it was able to kind of refresh in a different way. But Pontiac now definitely in the clear. Farmer City, you've got that cell looking to be just off to the west of you guys, right over the Rutledge area and just to the south of Leroy. So we've got that storm moving off to the northeast more at about 30 miles per hour or so. And then we continue to have additional warnings that are being fired off here off to our north and even into Indiana as well. But for us in our viewing area, we've got just the one storm that's coming through there, and it luckily has, throughout much of its lifespan in Livingston County, has remained radar indicated. There was potentially an actual touchdown when it was on the line with Woodford in Livingston County, kind of right about there. It would have been a little bit after 2 o'clock, but now that we're at to the 3 o'clock hour, we've got it right over Sonneman basically right now. We can also see with this storm some very heavy rain and even the potential for some large hail as well too. There's the hail core, so now that it is past Pontiac, you've got it at basically right over Owego right now, kind of right by Swigert and Ilar. Right in that zone there is where you've got that large hail core with that storm that's coming through. But we're still watching for rotation with this storm. We'll put our velocity back on, and kind of right by the Sonneman area there would be right where our rotation would be. You can tell that we've got that rotation there because of the different colors. The rain that the radar picks up on is moving around, and so those winds are going in and away from the radar. And so that difference in direction is where we get our couplet, and that would be our rotation from that. Just checking a few more things here from the National Weather Service about our storm. No new information to report, but it is going to be got some rotation with that one. You're going to have some very strong winds within this cell as well, and it continues to move off to the east at around 25 miles per hour. We'll take a look at our future track because that has been pretty helpful in showing us the fact that we were always talking about storms being very spotty for the day today, but as you go into the evening hours and into tonight, not really seeing a whole lot of more development, which is good news. So we are always talking about things being pretty spotty. The Storm Prediction Center has been also very good with their forecast, putting the enhanced risk off to the north and kind of northwestern side of the state of Illinois, and that's where all these storms are currently. So they did a good job with that one, and it does, as you can see, even get into Livingston County there as well. So a very nice forecast by them. We continue to have the tornado watch that goes until 8 o'clock tonight. No counties have been trimmed out of that one because we may actually still get some development that does pop up, but if it's going to develop, it should be doing it right about now, and as you can tell, we've not really had much of that additional development there. We do have that one big cell now, kind of right by Farmer City, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to change sky cams here. This will be the Pontiac one for right now, but I am going to try to change that here on the fly for us. You'll see that looks great in Pontiac now. All right, so we need to get the studio camera from Champaign up, and I'm going to turn that one for us here. So just give me 1 second. Nice day, obviously, in Champaign. It's been very warm, very humid. Today may have been the first day that you had to turn on your air conditioning, but we'll see. I'm kind of right by the edge here where I have to change direction and go all the way around. Yep, that's what I'm meant to do. So I have to go all the way around. We're facing east towards Urbana currently. Now we're facing more south down towards the State Farm Center. Coming back around. And of course it's jammed. Of course. Well, that was no help. I apologize. Trying to see if we can get that cell that was able to pop up on our camera. You definitely would be able to see it. That would be to the obviously northwest of Champaign, but right by Rutledge, Farmer City, Leroy right there, we do have that cell that has popped up. There is going to be some lightning with it, as you can tell. We're going to have to keep an eye out for that guy. That guy is going to be moving into some favorable conditions here, but still looking at 3:30 now, 27 more minutes with this storm over Livingston County. Again, everywhere else looking nice and quiet and very warm, very humid with temperatures that are soaring into the 80s. But again, this one still does have some rotational properties to it, so we continue to watch that. Okay. I've got pictures now. The wall cloud near Sonneman, so that would make sense. Again, just me here, unfortunately, in the studio, so I'm not able to really multitask, showing pictures and things like that. Not really getting a whole lot into us, but I'm checking out Twitter from some people that I follow. And so we do have that right over Sonneman right now, so that's good. That backs it up, wall cloud near Sonneman, and that's where the rotation is. And that was just a few minutes ago. So that's backing up that things nicely. So if you're in the Griswold area, especially right by there, as it slowly moves off to the east, want to make sure that everybody is in your safe spot at your house, wherever that is. We'll put a track on it, and we're going to do it from that kind of the edge of that rotation couplet and off to the east, to around 25 miles per hour. So that last check of what that was doing. But Emmington at 312, Column 320, Mona 329, Milks Grove at 347, and then Ashcombe at 4 o'clock, if it is in fact able to go that far with that. Just checking a number of things here on social media to see if I can back it up with what we're seeing. But again, I've been able to see, and on my Twitter, if you go there, you can see that I've retweeted a couple pictures, and so there is a rotating wall cloud. Jeff Frame, actually one of the guys here at the U of I, a professor in the atmospheric sciences division. He's out chasing, and he's actually out in that storm, and so he took a great picture of that. So we'll loop that, and you'll see that this thing is still moving off to the east pretty slowly here at around 25 miles per hour. But you've got, actually right now with that latest scan, you can see that, yeah, I got that right over Sonneman there. You got some good rotation with that being picked up there. So that is where our potential tornado would be should it come down. And right now, latest reports out of that one was that it was a rotating wall cloud. Checking a few more things here. All right, so let's reset everything. We'll talk about the fact that we do have our tornado watch that goes until 8 o'clock for the counties that you see there in yellow. We've got the enhanced risk that remains just north of our viewing area. It does clip Livingston County, but we have a slight risk that does cover a majority of the viewing area as well, with a marginal that gets everywhere else. So the thinking was that there may have been additional development in this part of our viewing area. We've not really seen a whole lot of additional development out of any more storms, but we have had about 1 or 2 of them that have popped up here. Got that big one right there by Farmer City and by Leroy, kind of in between there, right over 74. And additional little cells have popped up kind of around that area too. Everywhere else, though, is nice and quiet. And if it's not popping up now with storms, it's highly doubtful that we're going to see much more action out of that. So a lot of you were expecting a pretty dry day today with a chance of a spotty storm, and these storms definitely do fit the definition of being spotty here for us, since we're really not seeing much in the way of activity except for a number of spots. Checking a few things out here for us. Got a text message. Our former intern and good friend of mine, Jacob Dickey, his dad is out chasing this storm, and he was just texting me that he's right by the Sonneman area as well. And so it says that it's going to be pretty close to dropping a tornado just to the north of Sonneman because, and we saw, based on our rotation, on our velocity, that there is a good rotation couplet out of that one. So there that is right there. And so again, got the lowering with that one. There's even a kind of a ragged rotating wall cloud with it as it goes over the town of Sonneman, and it continues to move very slowly off to the east at only around 25 miles per hour. So If you live near the column area especially, even Charlotte, even though it's likely going to be passing off to your north, you still want to make sure that you're in your safe spot. Broughton as well, and Loretto is going to be on the northern side, with mainly with that seeing quite a bit of heavy rain out of that one. Okay, getting a couple pictures coming in here, and rotation does it to be picking up a bit more on that Sonneman storm, and that makes sense. We've got that pretty tight looking couplet there, kind of right over there currently, moving pretty slowly still off to the east at around 25 miles per hour. Okay, let's see if I can get the Skycam to work again on this one, because I want to see if I can turn it around a bit more. That oh, it's going great. Let's see if it keeps on turning. Keep going, keep going, keep going. All right, so it's a bit, trying to look at that Farmer City one, it's going to be a bit too far out of its range. It's going to be right over there on the horizon line where it gets a little bit darker. If I kind of tilt it up, you can see that we've got the blow-off of the top of it, the anvil, that does show up there quite nicely. I got to push it up a bit more here so you can see it. It's there, but it is going to be, obviously this is far away from the city of Champaign, but that is going to be the closest movable camera that I have to the cells that are popping up kind of over Clinton Lake. And at this point now, that'd be, yeah, right to the north of Farmer City. So that's the one, Farmer City, Leroy, right there. We're to look out for that storm. That one has intensified. That one's got some hail with it, I'm assuming, a little bit, just off to the, kind of just off to the east of Rutledge there. And so you got a little hail core there. We'll go up to our main storm over Sonneman, and that one's got a pretty nice core there. Not only is it got bigger hail with it, but it also is a much larger area too. So that is going to be a very dangerous storm with this one. Okay, so we got the latest refresh of our warning. They've kind of trimmed it back a little bit there. So National Weather Service continues to call it radar indicated. We have still not had a tornado on this storm since it was just outside of the viewing area. It has since been radar indicated this entire time. So we still have it being a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado located near Column or 11 miles south of Dwight, moving east at 25. So that is it right there. Latest update just came in there and is now taking that that strongest hail core just off to the east of 47. Checking a few more spots here on Twitter to see if I can see more pictures to help us out here with that one. Everything looks the same. We'll turn our velocity back on, and the velocity area looks to be a little bit bigger. It kind of makes sense with that kind of bigger hail core with that. So we might be starting to get a little bit of it kind of pulsed up there. We'll go back a couple of radar frames. You can tell that a little bit tighter and more close back there. Now it's a little bit wider. Doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be totally falling apart, but it might be going through a little bit of a cycle currently. But there is a number of reports on this one that it has produced rotating wall clouds. So if it was going to produce a tornado, it's very, very close to doing so. It continues to move off to the east at 25 miles per hour. I'll get kind of that area there. And again, this is only if it's able to keep on that same speed. 322 for Column, 331 for Mona, Milks Grove at 350, Ashcombe at 402, and Central High School at 408. If it is able to get that far, that is pretty far out from where that storm is currently. Rainfall amounts. Rainfall amounts have been very high with this one. As you saw from that Pontiac camera a little bit ago, we did have a number of what looked like horizontal rain bands coming through there, and the visibility was drastically reduced. So we've got many spots picking up at least over an inch of rain, if not even more than that. Some radar estimated amounts coming in close to 2 inches. So this is going to be a very torrential downpour rainfall when this thing does come through. You can tell it's very warm, it's very humid outside. There's also plenty of lightning with this thing too, as well as that little storm that is now just off to the right by Farmer City, just to the north of Farmer City, right there. That one also has quite a bit of lightning with that one too, and even some small hail likely being picked up with that storm. So we'll loop things here just to kind of show you what's been occurring. We had a few more little pop-ups now that have occurred in the northern, kind of northeastern parts of McLean County. Those are obviously not severe just yet, but they are moving into favorable conditions, so we're going to look out for that one. We also have totally dry conditions everywhere else. So very isolated event with these storms coming through here. This is likely going to be it. We'll have to watch out, though, for this storm, this southern one right here, because that one is pretty strong right now, and it is moving off in the direction of some favorable air, favorable conditions, where you've got not only some more wind shear up there, but also some potentially even higher dew points. So it is going to be moving into a favorable environment, and that's why we'll have to watch for that one as well. All right, we'll turn the radar or the lightning off here, and even just on the regular radar loop in the view there, you can tell that we've got kind of that hook shape with our storm. That's very indicative of one that does have some rotation with it. We'll take a look at the velocity itself, and you'll see that we still do have a little bit of a couplet there that's going by the Sonneman area, and so that's and by the Emmington area as well. So that's the zone there where this storm is not only producing its strongest winds, but also going to be where you would potentially have that tornado that would be coming down as well. Currently, there have been no additional reports of an actual one on the ground, which is good news, but it remains, it's very close too. It's been very close to some of the pictures that we've had that I've been able to see on social media. They have been, storm has been very close to actually producing a tornado. So again, if you're in any of these areas in and around the tornado warning box, you want to make sure that you can get to your safe spot immediately if you're not already there already. Again, just another example of some of the spots that could be seeing this storm if it continues on its easterly track at 25 miles per hour. It would be for Column at 327, Mona at 336, Milks Grove at 351, Ashcombe at 407, and 410 Central High School, all potentially able to see this storm should it continue on its track. And actually, too, good news there with this storm, the one that is by Farmer City. We've got some strong winds within that one, but at least it is not showing any rotation as of right now, which is great. So it's 3:17. This warning goes until 3:30, and I've not seen any more new developments with this one just yet. We're still probably keeping an eye on it. Hail core, we'll take a look at the hail core with this one. And so it's gotten smaller. As we kind of go back and forth through time, you can tell that it's been a large hail core, it's been a small hail core, it's had some large hail in it, it's had some small hail in it. We're right now kind of on a downtrend with that. So that's another good news there, and the newest scan just came in there, shows it's kind of diminishing a bit more too. So there's some good news there. The velocity doesn't look to be as good as it did before, but a lot of times with these storms, they'll be just kind of cyclical, where they'll kind of look pretty impressive on the radar, then they look to die down a little bit before they re-intensify more on the radar. And a lot of times it's when they do those re-intensifications that you can get a small tornado that could pop out of it. So that's why we continue to have this warning on it. It does go until 3:30, so we have 11 more minutes on that storm. That is the only storm that has a warning on it in our viewing area. It's been the only storm that has had a warning on it this entire time in the viewing area today. And besides that other big cell that's down by Farmer City, basically in the Bellflower area, basically in that southeastern corner of McLean County. Besides that cell, the one that's got the warning on it is it for us. Storm Prediction Center did a great job with showing where the strongest storms are going to be, the enhanced risk. That orange area has been primarily just outside of the viewing area, and they've done a good job showing that also. We've been talking about very spotty storms with this one too. Latest future track indicates that we're still looking at things to be just very spotty here for the next few hours going into this evening, where we're likely going to be pretty dry for our entire viewing area. Then for Sunday itself, also looking to be pretty quiet as well. By the afternoon hours, a few more storms pop up there in the heat of the afternoon, but that's about it. So we're looking at a pretty quiet forecast overall in terms of the coverage area of storms, but it will always be if they are able to get strong to severe, and this one has. We have now just 10 more minutes left of that one on Livingston County, and it will still be looking at a couple things here. All right, nothing confirmed just yet, but we have had a lowering with this wall cloud that has been coming through the Sonneman area, and so checking for any debris. Don't think anything popped up there. If it did, it'd be very small, very hard to tell there within those within that area, because it would be a very rural area and it wouldn't really be able to hit much of anything should anything have actually touched down in the Sonneman area. It still does remain for radar indicated rotation with this one. So it is now approaching the northern part of the Livingston County, Ford County line, way up there at the far edge of the viewing area. So depending on how this goes, we may actually be able to cut out here, and you can go back to watching the replay of golf. But we're going to stick on it until the next update comes in here with this warning. But again, if you live in and around this tornado warned area, this storm is moving to the east at around 25 miles per hour. We'll put a track on kind of right here to kind of get it kind of in the middle of the storm itself. Get an idea. Column about 332, Rogers at 342, Mix Grove just before 4 o'clock, Ashcombe at around 412, and Central High School at 416. Again, that's if it's able to keep on that track. It's been moving to the east at around 25 miles per hour, and it has been pretty consistently to the east. It hasn't changed direction so much back off to the northeast, which would indicate likely some weakening. But if we kind of go back in time here, you can see that it is a little bit more ragged with that one. So it's not looking to be as impressive looking. We'll turn our velocity on. But again, what can sometimes happen is that these things go through little cycles there. And so sometimes my radar image doesn't always match up with what the velocity is showing there. And so we still do have some rotation there. So it's likely going to take, we probably will actually see this tornado warning go into parts of Ford and even Iroquois counties, but they may kind of move it into parts of Kankakee County as well too. But again, it's on the far edge of the viewing area currently. You've got everywhere else, this is just the velocity. I'll go back to our regular radar view here. Everywhere else is nice and quiet, except for this big cell that is now kind of congealing into almost 2 cells right now over Bellflower, getting close to Gibson City. Let's check out the Gibson City Skycam. That one doesn't rotate around, but that one's probably going to be able to show us something good here. So we'll go to Gibson City. It should pop up here any moment. Yeah, so that's Gibson City's view right there. Put the sponsors on, we'll make them happy. We do have that very cool looking contrast between the really bright sunny skies and the blue skies with those light clouds, and then you've got the very dark edge on the left side of the screen there. Okay. That's the time lapse. I just need this one. But a cool view nonetheless, showing the storms as they come into the area, begin to form. And then now here we're going to be seeing those developments. There's our Pontiac storm off in the distance there, and then it's coming in right about now. So this is what it looks like right now from Gibson City. And you've got, again, a nice contrast there since these storms are not over Gibson City currently, but they are approaching the area there. And the likely going to be passing just off to, well, those are actually just off to the west. So it's going to be, that camera is probably facing slightly more possibly northwest than rather just straight west. But still, that's going to be approaching that area there too. As we loop that one, you can tell that that one's looking to be pretty good. A lot of lightning on that one as well, so we'll keep an eye out for that one. But we have another 5 minutes left of this warning for Livingston County. Check a few more things here for us. No new information just yet. So there's still some rotation on that one, but likely what's going to happen is it's going to be moving and crossing the line over into parts of Kankakee County, or even just skimming the far northern part of the viewing area in Ford as well as Iroquois counties. So we'll have to keep an eye out for that for the next few minutes here for our next loop. Places like Danville, probably even Champaign, and then definitely farther down to our south and even southwest. Since we're looping that, you can tell that we're not seeing any more activity firing up. And if we were to, we still have a few hours for storms to develop here, but we really should have seen stuff popping up by now if we were going to see more in our area. And so over the past few days, we were always kind of talking about how today's storm chances were always going to be pretty spotty, as well as for tomorrow as well, too. So we're not totally done just yet with our storms, but we're likely going to be pretty quiet here in terms of not a big coverage area of storms. We'll obviously have these bubble up like we've got now kind of approaching the Gibson City area there with that cell. But that one now in Pontiac, the Livingston County one I should say, doesn't look to be as impressive as much anymore. Checking a few more things. It still continues to have rotation, as well as a wall cloud. But this is looking at some pictures now from about 15 minutes ago, and so it does back up what we're seeing in terms of our rotation. But this is now going to be going more into parts of Kankakee County here. So it's kind of right there on the edge. And it's definitely on the edge of our viewing area. So, okay, so what they've done now is they've now taken it away, and they've now given us a severe thunderstorm warning for parts of Ford County as well as the northern parts of Iroquois County. And that one is going to go. Let's get our warnings to pop up there. Until 4:15. So Ford, Iroquois, Kankakee, and Livingston counties. That's the one that's going to go until 4:15. It is still moving pretty slow here. In fact, it is... I haven't got that latest update to come through just yet. I think it came in on my phone, though, so I can read it there. But anyways, it is going to be most likely moving very slowly. And it makes sense with it going until 4:15. 25 miles an hour to the east. Golf ball sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds possible, as well as a tornado still possible on that one too, since it does have some rotation on it. So what we're going to do here is we are going to go back to golf on CBS. We'll keep an eye out for things here on social media as well as streaming. Do want to thank everybody here for tuning in. I know it's been on the kind of the far fringe of our viewing area, and so we're going to keep an eye on things here. But in terms of any more redevelopment of storms, we're likely going to be watching our chances to be a bit better with maybe some of those storms becoming a bit stronger. But that's about it in terms of the developments that we have seen here. So we're going to go now back to regular programming since this tornado warning is about to expire, and it's likely showing a little bit of some weakening signs, plus the fact that it is now moving out of our viewing area. Have a good rest of your Saturday, and we'll keep things going on social media and break back in if we need to for any more warnings. Have a good day.